Before we get into the video, I want to give you guys just this little bit of information from Canada, and this is from Ottawa. Canadian officials in Nigeria are working with the United States on developing tools to flag Nigerians applying for United States visas who may be at high risk of crossing illegally into Canada across the United States border. So far this year, the majority of illegal migrants arriving in Canada are Nigerians who have recently been issued a United States travel visa. Quote, it is apparent that they obtained those visas with the express intent to actually go to Canada. That's why Canada is now working with its American counterpart to try to stop Nigerian travelers to the United States from using their United States visa as a ticket to Canada, a practice in which Jaswal calls an abuse of United States visa for the purpose of asylum. Canadian officials in Nigeria are now working directly with the... They're repeating the same shit again. Oh my God. Last year, the majority of irregular migrants who arrived in Canada were Haitian, which was largely attributed to the Trump administration's decision to lift the temporary protection status for immigrants from Haiti living in the United States. This year's shift towards Nigerians is not surprising to the Canadian immigration lawyer who grew up in Nigeria and regularly travels to the country. Nigerians fleeing the violence of Boko Haram and other systematic prosecutions in Nigeria find it marginally easier to obtain travel visas from the United States compared to Canada, but many see the United States as merely a transit point on the way to Canada. Quote, the United States is not an attractive place to most Nigerians right now. It used to be the most attractive place, but with the Trump factor, the old-style immigration climate in the United States compared to Canada, most people are going to find their way to Canada. Nicholas, president of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in Canada, disagrees with the, quote, Trump factor theory, stating that he believes the influx of Nigerian refugees claimants is more closely related to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's more welcoming message about immigrants. Many Nigerians face persecution for their sexual orientation, and women face high rates of domestic violence from their partners as well as a threat of genital mutilation. Canada's more progressive laws and attitudes towards these populations make it a more desirable place to live. Quote, they think that Canada will be a country where they will receive asylum and where they feel they will be able to integrate and resume a normal life, far away from persecution. Individuals and families fleeing from the violence and oppression of Nigeria are well versed in Canada's immigration laws and have likely seen the statistics showing Nigerian refugee claimants have a 35% chance of success rate in having their claims accepted. That's why he believes the flow of migrants from Nigeria may not soon be over. Quote, I don't see this ending anytime soon. Meanwhile, a United States Department spokesperson stated on Monday, work is ongoing to improve screening processes for American visas. Keep in mind a need to balance safety and protection concerns with legitimate travel and immigration to the United States. However, no changes have yet been made to the United States visa application process.
At this point, you are in the United States of America. Does anybody have a valid visa currently for the United States? Yes. Even if it expires soon?
Yes.
Yes. Are you aware that the very minute you cross this border, your status in the United States is nullified?
Yes.
Okay. Have you started a refugee claim in the United States?
No.
Is there a reason why you have not?
What?
Is there a reason why you're choosing not to do a refugee claim status in the United States, as opposed to traveling to Canada to do the very same thing?
Yeah, you must not hear from us first.
I do. Yes.
Pardon?
Yes.
Do you know that there is a legal port not 3 kilometers from here where you can enter the country legally through the channels that are established? Yes? This is not a legal port of entry. This is an illegal point. This is not a way to come in.
Yes, we know.
Okay. Is the reason why you're choosing here as opposed to trying to go through the channels like everybody else that does?
No, we want to go through this one right here.
Okay, so you're aware that by crossing here, you're committing an illegal act?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure that you want the beginning of your life in Canada to start with an illegal
Yes.
act?
Yes. Future in Canada.
Yes.
That's why I'm here.
But you can start that same future in
want
Canada
this
at
one.
the
Okay.
legal court.
We want this place.
No,
Yes.
Why?
Because
Why not
I
the
want-
legal way?
Because I want to go to Canada because I believe I can make it, and this is how I can handle this Canada because I don't have a legal.
I need
Do you have any family in Canada?
I don't have
No.
a family.
Anybody have any family?
No.
Are you planning to claim refugee status in Canada?
Yes.
Refugees, yes, please.
Yes.
Where are we coming from? Which countries?
Sorry,
Which countries?
Nigeria.
Okay. Are you aware that should your refugee class status be refused through Immigration Canada, you will be returned not to the United States, but in fact to your home country of Nigeria?
I understand
Yes.
that.
Okay. So you may be refused that either way, correct? You're aware of that? The difference is, and I want to be clear though, the difference is if you're refused here, you're returned directly to Nigeria. However, since you have legal status in the United States, if you're refused there, you're returned to the United States.
No, I don't want to return back to the United
We want
States.
Canada here. We want Canada here.
We are saving Canada.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that just because you come here doesn't mean you get to stay.
We
Yes,
understand
yes.
that. We understand that.
We're clear. You understand what it is that
Yes.
We understand that.
And we believe in this.
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, we just want to come in. That's it.
No.
Please.
For the fact that we believe in Canada, that Canada can solve our problem. That's why we are here.
We are saving
And we don't have any
Canada.
other choice to go
We don't
back.
have any other place to go back.
Our mind is made up. We want to come
We
into
want to come
Canada.
into
That's
Canada.
because we know Canada can save our life illegally. That's the way we're here right now. We understand everything you just said right now. And that is what we want right now. We want to come in
I'm just
illegally.
trying to understand why it is that you want to start your lives in Canada by an illegal act, rather than doing what everybody else who also wants to start their life in Canada is doing illegally. Why is it that you think that you can supersede the system to
Okay.
do it illegally while everybody else still is choosing to do it legally?
I don't want to go through it legally. I want to come in here because right now I understand I'm illegal if I go through this part. That is why. And I want to just go it. I want to follow my heart.
You're aware of what you're giving up when you come across.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll do it. I got to go.
Come on. Oh, yeah. Come on with the bag.
So let me just get this straight. So the lady there at the border told them, "Hey, does anybody have a visa or whatnot or whatever from the United States?" You heard people say yes, right? Because that's where they came from. And she was like, "Hey, well, if you decide to come over here, anything that you did in the United States or whatnot, it doesn't matter. We're going to treat this like it's brand new and that you're just trying to come directly over here illegally." And she let them know, like, "Hey, just way yonder, a couple of ways down, you can hit the courts where you can legally make entry, right? Just like everybody else." And they were like, "No, we want to come here. We want to, come into Canada through this area." They want to take whatever illegal method they can in order to get there. They would rather be directly locked up in jail or whatnot or whatever and have to get processed versus, I guess, waiting a long line. I'm not sure what the line would actually look like in order to get into Canada. I'm not sure. But what I'm looking at some runners. I'm looking at some track stars because they made sure that they were going to get far. Let me tell you, that's crazy. You ran from your home. You left Nigeria to come all the way to the United States, right? The land of the free, opportunity, this is that and the third, right? All of that good stuff, right? And then you were like, you know what? Due to the effect of the person that is sitting in office, we're going to actually leave. We're going to take this visa, right? Whatever opportunities that we did have, whatever training and education that we got from here, we're going to take that and leave. And now we're going to flee and go into Canada illegally. You have to be kidding me. You just literally went 3 different places. You couldn't succeed at home, so then you went to the United States, but you didn't like who was in office, so you were like, well, I can't succeed here, so my next best bet is to flee and enter illegally into Canada. Are you serious? Are you serious? You have no allegiance to nothing. It's like, you have to be kidding me. It's like, no matter how far they run, no matter where they go, they're still going to be Nigerian at the end of the day, right? You even heard the Nigerian man there. He was like, "Yeah, Nigeria can fix my problems. I want to be here," right? He was ready to sacrifice and give up everything to be in Canada. If they told him, if you really want to be here, just strip naked and do a cartwheel, he would have did 40 cartwheels and strip naked and then put his clothes back on in reverse and did 40 more cartwheels. That's how much he wanted to get into Canada. I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. And all of them can completely understand, to an extent, what that woman is telling them. And they're still like, yeah, okay. And then you saw the dude at the end. He was like, I'm not even going to run. I'm just going to sit up there and, in a sense, push my way through. Well, of course, Canadians are nice. They're not going to sit up there and just knock you back. Now, if this was America, that dude would have been flat on his back real quick. But in Canada, they were like, you know what, we got you. The lady just looked at him and was like, hey, I'm explaining some stuff. And he just wanted to keep going. He just didn't care. He was like, hey, it is what it is. It's better than where it is that I just came from. That's crazy. So then what happens if things go awry with Trudeau? Does that then mean that these Nigerian Canadian or Canadian, well, actually, if you were in Canada when you were born and both of your parents, okay, yeah. So these Nigerian Canadians, right? Because they're Nigerian first and coming to Canada, right? Nigerian Canadians. So if things don't go right with Trudeau, does that then mean they're going to flee and try to re-enter the United States? Like, how is that going to go? Or are they just going to bypass all of that and go to Mexico? Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out how is this going to work out. Because I'm just seeing a whole bunch of runners. I'm looking at a whole bunch of people that don't want to fight for their home, but yet they're proud of where it is that they came from. That's a little bit weird to me. And it's very weird to me because I always hear how a lot of people that come directly over from wherever they are, and they come here for a better existence, better life, and yada, yada, yada. They always state that they are proud of their homeland, proud to be who it is that they are and their lineage and all this. But if you're so proud, why don't you stay home and fight? So many times you can hear different people in conversations online where you hear some Africans talking about black people don't, have a culture. We don't know where we come from and we don't know our history and all this other type of stuff. Well, you know what? Whatever you want to sit up there and state, this is a fact though. Irregardless of whatever it is that you have to state, the one main fact is that out of everybody here, we will make sure to stay here and fight tooth and nail for what little we got in the United States. I see tremendous amounts of people from Africa fleeing over to the UK, fleeing over to Europe, fleeing over to Australia, fleeing over to China, fleeing over to Canada, fleeing over to South America, fleeing over to America. Why is it that you have so many Africans running from home, but then in the same breath talking about they're proud of their language, they're proud of their heritage, they're proud of their history? If you were so proud, you would actually stay home to fight for it, to keep it. You wouldn't abandon home and allow other people, outsiders, to come directly in and just take your land, which is rightfully yours. It's crazy. But yet people always got their mouths open when they want to talk about black Americans. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? You literally just witnessed several Africans who have been stated to have been in the United States, to have had visas from the United States, just to use those in order to get over to Canada. It's a lot of runners out here. It's a lot of runners. I see exactly how it is, that they win a lot of races in the Olympics. I see it. I completely see it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.